Hello and welcome to the podcast today. We are so thrilled to have Ben Care with us today. And we are so excited to talk about some new upcoming events that he's got going and just hear a little bit about my good friend Ben. I'm so excited to introduce you today. Ben, will you open up and just start a little bit about who you are? Tell
Well,
us a little
first
bit
of
about
all,
you.
I'm a man that's super blessed because I have good friends like you,
Thanks.
and that's the richest man in the world. The richest person in the world is one who has a lot of great relationships, I think, right?
Right, absolutely.
And so I've been able to have such strong relationships in my life that it's allowed me to have a pretty fun story. And it was about 4 years ago that I had a few individuals give me a call. I'm coming off of Mount Kilimanjaro and I'm starting to get signal after summiting this mountain. We didn't have service for just almost a week, and all these calls, just messages, bing, 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 and I'm going through them little by little at the hotel. And there's a message by a guy named Tanner Christensen, who's a son of T.C. Christensen, who's a local celebrity in the film producing world. And it just so happens that they teamed up with a guy named Jared Hess, who happened to do Napoleon Dynamite, Nacho Libre, and just recently the Minecraft movie.
Oh,
And they
cool.
said, hey, we've been watching you for a long time and we feel like it's time for us to do a movie about your life. What do you say?
Wow.
And man, I had people approach me before, but I never felt so good about it as I did now with them. And so 4 years later, we're coming into theaters January 23rd, and I
Yes.
I just couldn't be more excited.
So behind you, is this the whole like, tell me about this picture? This is amazing. Oh, what date does it say there? The
J-
23rd?
January 23rd, 2026. It's easy to remember. One, two, three, stand out. That's how you can remember it. January 23rd. And it's been an interesting life. Like the last year, we've had our film done for a year, and we
Okay.
decided to take it through film festivals. So we started in Hollywood last January, where we did the Slam Dance Film Festival, and we've been all over the country and just been super blessed. People have um, just been so receptive. We've won awards at every single film festival, and we're really, really excited to put it in front of people on a big screen.
I just love this. Well, what's crazy is in the beginning days of my podcast, I actually had TC Christensen on my podcast. So that's amazing.
No way.
Yeah, and he told us all about like his movies and all the cool stuff. He's a great, great guy. So that is cool. I think I even remember him telling me back then how excited he was about this movie. So I think this has been something that has been anticipated for a while, right?
Yeah, he has done such iconic movies, 17 Miracles, Cokeville Miracle. Most recently, he did Escape from Germany and Raising the Bar, the Elmer Richards story. And he's just done some really cool films that that have done well. And then you have one of the biggest names in Hollywood right now is Jared Hess. He's trouncing around the world on the red carpet. The thing I love about what we're doing, though, is my film by is directed by Tanner with the support of those two guys. And hold on, someone's trying to call me. Well,
They
and
always do
so
that when we're busy, right?
I know, and so Tanner, this is his first ever film that he's directing. He just got done doing a film with, I mean, he was part of the Minecraft. He did a bunch of work in there. And before that, he did another filming with the American Gladiators when Jared Hess did that, and they sold that to, I think, Netflix.
Oh,
So
wow.
he's phenomenal, and for him to have this be his first film is just awesome. So he comes in, as you can imagine, like nervous, like, oh my gosh, this is my first film. It's kind of like a feature film documentary. How are we going to do this? And we have had some screenings, and the other day, and I love sending this stuff to him because it gets him excited. Um, we had a screening, and there was a lady that I've never met before, and She said on social media, she posted it. And it's different when you don't know someone, right? We're used to people like supporting us when they know us and when they love us. But a random stranger posted on social media and said, "This is one of the best films I've ever seen. It is better than Hugh Jackman's The Greatest Showman."
Oh, wow. I
And
have chills head to toe. That is amazing.
I'm a huge fan of that film. And
Mhm.
I think Hugh is just such a brilliant actor. And so I'm just so blessed to know that these guys have taken such careful approach to what we've done to tell this story about my life. I'm just so honored.
You know what? I've heard so many great things about Tanner when I was interviewing TC, but what's really cool, one thing I know about you is you're a person of just many connections. People that know you, love you, they want to help you, they want to, they want to share your story, they're passionate because you're always giving back. That's one thing I've just from our friendship. And what's really cool for our guests that are on the show today, you were here on our podcast in the beginning, so you have a beautiful story that we could even tie in for those that don't know about you, but they're going to get to know it in this movie. And anybody that's looking to see something that I mean, tell us your purpose. Like, what is it you want them to feel and come away with? Because I feel like you probably demonstrated that so well with A Perfect Stranger. I mean, that is such a beautiful compliment, by the way.
So there was a gentleman, we had a screening the other night, and these are all private screenings way before we do our launch in theaters. We had a screening the other night where I was present for it. And at the end of the film, when you see the film, you'll notice that at the end of the film, the credits are going down one part of the screen, and on the other side, the movie's still going.
Mhm.
So don't walk out of the theater early.
Okay,
Well,
we won't.
I'm getting ready to take the microphone and speak to the group, and there's a man that I've never met before. He came with a friend of mine, and he's about 65 years old. And you would ask what the purpose is. Um, our purpose was to impact every single demographic and every single gender and age. And this
Mhm.
guy's 65 years old, bald head, white beard, and he sees me as he's heading out towards the exit. And I thought he just had to leave. But he noticed me as he walked out and he grabbed me and he hugged me. And he's trembling, bawling, not crying, bawling. And he just said, "I need to say thank you." And he was leaving because he needed to clean up. He said he was crying so much. And I told him, like, "Bro, the film isn't done yet." Like, you got to keep watching. Now, what's the purpose of what we're doing? Our purpose is to impact and touch every age.
Mhm.
We've had people from elementary all the way to people in wheelchairs show up that are grandparents. And we want them to know that every aspect of life is a reality based upon perspective. And that perspective is how you approach life. And all of us have had times in our life where we've thought, "Oh man, life would be better if I was just Bobby or Billy or Tommy version 2.0. And if I could just be them, if I could just live like them, this side of the train tracks, this type of car, if I could just dress like them, act like them, smell like them, life
Mhm.
would be better." But only when we understand that God created us to be us, only when God created us to call our own shot, only when God created us in the family units that we're in with the people around us that really want us to do well, will we really start living. As you watch this film, it'll be hero journey after hero journey after hero journey in every phase of my life with so many other people's lives intertwined with it. I've had so many incredible people come into my life when I needed them most, and it talks about that. And people have said, "Oh my gosh, I expected to come and enjoy it, and I never expected to feel so many emotions that just took me on a journey that was a roller coaster and left me wanting to run through a brick wall.
Hmm. So it's here to move any age. I love that. And I know earlier in that podcast when you first started talking, you told stories about growing up. I mean, I'm sure there's been times of struggle throughout your life, right? Times that maybe this movie has been hard. Anything, because we're talking about, creating confident communication when we try to get our books out, when we try to speak out in our lives. I mean, for you, this is huge. This is a movie. Were there any setbacks or things that made it difficult to just kind of get this baby ready to be put out in less than a month? I can't even believe it. A month from today. Is it a month today?
Month from today.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we had some massive setbacks, but the journey and the story of setbacks is exactly this. It was a couple weeks before we would start filming. And as you go and watch the film, you'll see we do some moments where we recreate pieces of my life. And we didn't find the person that was going to play Little Ben. So we're like, oh my gosh, we're going to have to use AI, which is fine, but it's not the same. And it's
Hmm.
ridiculed heavily in the film industry. And we'd searched the world. Talia, we searched the world for this Little Ben. Who's
Hmm.
someone that could act like me, look like me, someone with Cruzon syndrome? Like in
Hmm.
the movie Wonder,
Yes.
the little boy, Augie, he was a normal child, but they had to go through all this pain. I've met him, I've spoken on the same stage as him.
Hmm.
And so it was every day a makeup thing, and we didn't want to do that. Though
Right.
that's a beautiful film, we wanted the real raw individual because when you go through something like that, you become that.
Hmm.
And that's what we wanted. We don't want someone that was acting. We want something that was genuinely in the moment, had Cruzon syndrome. I get a call after years of searching the
Okay.
world. And there's a family that said, Ben, we've been looking on social media, and we've been actually watching you for about 6 months.
Hmm.
And we would love to invite you over for dinner. We have a kid with Cruzon syndrome, and we would love you to meet him. I'm like, well, where do you live? And they live 20 minutes away from me.
What? I
Yeah.
have chills head to toe. So it took 2 years. So did 20 minutes. So where? Like Draper or something? I don't know.
Yep.
But
So
close.
we show up. They lived in Utah County. We showed up and we knocked on the door. I remember, I'll never forget this. I knocked on the door. The Fieldings is what their last name is. They opened the door and I see this little boy, Colton, and he looked like me. He acted like me. He had the same like energy that I have. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Now I just have to convince the parents to do this. And
But they reached out to you. So were they already thinking about it? Is that
they had no idea about like all the details of what we were looking for.
right?
Um, so long story short, there's so many times in our life that things we don't think are working out. And
Hmm.
it's coming to the precipice of time
Yep.
or the 11th hour per se. And we're like, it's not going to work out. And then God comes
Hmm.
in, and then God does his magic, and then God directs us into something that is way bigger than us.
Hmm.
And that's the entire purpose of this. There will be people, whether they're in elementary or whether they're in their wheelchair, that will occupy these seats, whether it's in their family room couch or a nice cushioned seat in the theater,
Hmm.
that will watch this film and they will have gone through certain things that I've gone through. I'm not talking about surgeries because of Cruzon syndrome. I'm not talking about cauliflower ear because of wrestling. I'm
Hmm.
talking about pain.
Hmm.
I'm talking about affliction. I'm talking about obstacles. I'm talking about moments that you felt like you shouldn't belong here. I'm
Hmm.
talking about failure
Hmm.
and thinking, how do I get through this? And we have built out what I feel like is a recipe of how to overcome, how to have resilience, and how to come out bigger and better on the other side to to be a better version of us, to be a best version for other people.
You know what? You couldn't have said that better. And like I said, I just love because there isn't a person in this world that isn't going through some kind of trial, whatever it might be. And it might not be yours or it might not be mine, but oftentimes through the people I've worked with and all of my life journey, I find I'll take back my own struggle
Mm.
rather than someone else's because the things that people are working through right now in this day and age, I just feel like this couldn't have come out at a better time. Brand new year. I mean, I am so excited. Ben, I am so excited. So how can we, where is it going to be? Like, tell us a little bit about how we can share this with people. Tell us all the details so we can just, what theaters, like, is it just everywhere?
Absolutely. It's going to be everywhere. I mean, we're going to start out, we have the budget right now for Utah, Idaho, and Arizona.
Okay.
And we're going to be in as many theaters. I mean, we're already on sale in a lot of the Cinemarks in Utah right now. How do you buy tickets? You go to
Yes.
standoutfilm.com. The movie's
Okay.
called Standout,
Okay.
as you see it
Awesome.
right there.
Love it.
And and then we're going to be getting into like the megaplexes and the other theaters locally, and then in the other states, whatever their brand name theaters are. And then all you have to do is go to standoutfilm.com and it will direct you. If it's not in your area, you have an opportunity to still watch it in whatever theater you want. You can do a private screening. We've had that happen, and we've had people doing it from California all the way to literally Atlanta. We have someone who
Wow.
reached out and they said, "Hey, I'm not just I don't just want to fill one. I want to fill two different theaters." And it's been humbling from the south to the north of the United States. There are people that want this out there. You had mentioned just a few minutes ago, you're like, man, this couldn't come at the best time. Everybody is going through a hard time. In the film, you're going to see moments where people came at me.
Mm,
And on my poster right here, if you look really close, if you see my poster, you look really close, you'll see these nasty comments. I was
mm,
on a podcast yesterday, and the podcast like director, he's like, "Yeah, I saw that, and I I bet you just made those up." And I'm like, "No, those are all real. As a matter of fact, you can go on my social media, YouTube, and check out the comments." But here's what I've learned.
mhm,
I've learned that everybody, no matter if you're a credible human or not, has bad days.
mhm,
And if you judge a person and define them by their worst days, then that will be making a grave mistake.
mm,
And so when people come at you and they're angry, they're short with you, they have a temper, they're frustrated, just understand that yes, there are sometimes some sucky people. But more often than not, there's more sucky times
mm,
that come into people's lives that are just good people going through a real tough time. So in
mm,
those moments, I would ask for you, I'd plead for you to be kind.
mm.
I'd plead for you to be to be a bigger person, and I would plead for you to understand who you are. And when we have that type of perspective and confidence, lives are changed.
Mm.
First and foremost ours, and then secondly theirs.
Absolutely incredible. You couldn't have said that better. I used to always tell my kids, bullies that hurt you are just hurting, right? They're just hurting. And having that compassion for people that are truly angry and sad, I think is because life can be hard. Life can be a pain, a struggle. And feel so grateful that you're willing to put this out there, for people to know you're struggling, who you are. And I think it was Brene Brown that said, I don't want your opinion. I don't want your stuff unless you're in the arena fighting with me. Was that what she said? Something I'm probably going to mash it up, but basically, like, unless you're in the arena doing the work every day, your opinion doesn't matter, right? It's none of my business. Um, Meaning, people are just people, and I learned that lesson from my husband a long time ago. But he said I tried not to judge people for what they did or said, in his past, but that people are we all make mistakes. And I love how you said that because there's people that are just working through life and trying to figure out how to be positive. But what I love about this, because you were on the news today, you got to share this morning, is that right? So when will
Yeah.
that one be posted? I'm not sure if this episode will come out around the same time, but will you have this up this week, or when are they going to post that for the news so that we
Oh, the
can
new
attach
the
it?
absolutely the news was live. It was
Oh,
it
wow.
was live on Good Morning Utah, Channel 4. And every podcast I'm doing though is going to launch before January 23rd, which is awesome. And so
Yes.
at the end of the day, when you're shooting to do something that's way bigger than you, I believe this is for me, you don't want to leave a stone unturned. So my friends, whatever you're doing right now that's bigger than you got you got one shot at this, right? Maybe there's a gift and a blessing that you have an opportunity to come back and have a redo, right? Or a re-engage or whatever you want to call it. But I got one shot, and I have learned now more than ever the power of team, the power of people, the power of influence, and the power of just making a difference. If I were to be quiet about my story, if I were to hide it behind a bushel, like it says biblically,
Mm-hmm.
nobody else would know. Nobody else would want to help me out because they wouldn't know about it.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever dream you have, I speak about this on stage. Whatever dream you have, you can't dream in silence.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that in silence. I've studied some of the most iconic businesses and teams and people in the world, and they achieve 95% of their goals by doing three things. Number one, they call their shot. They make it super clear what their goal is. For me, it's putting this film out to the world.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, they get shot callers in their corner. You just mentioned your husband. He's a shot caller for you. What do I mean by that? They're people that help you call your shot. They
Mm-hmm.
are people that hold you accountable, right? We're that for each other. You and I are on a text thread, and we always ping back and forth. Hey, this is what we're
Yes.
doing. What can we do better? And we're our shot callers. We're our battle buddies. And
Mm-hmm.
then lastly, you can't dream and not have an expiration date. I can't put this film out for another 5 years or 4 years, and you got to have a release date. My release
Mm-hmm.
date is January 23rd. How many of us have had that friend that have always said, "Oh yeah, I'm going to run that marathon this year"? You're like, "Yo, buddy, you've said that for 15 years, and you're probably going to say it for the next 15 years." But what if that same buddy had 15-week timeline? I call it a shot clock. In
Mm-hmm.
basketball, you have a shot clock. You got to release that ball in 24 seconds. If we have a shot clock, then we're held accountable to a time frame. The people are in our corner, your shot callers, and you're held accountable to what you called your shot for. When we do that, and then when it's bigger than us, people will come out of the woodwork to want to support what you're doing. Talia, you've been that for me. Literally, you and I talked, I don't know how long ago, and out of the blue, you called me the other day, and you're like, "Yo, I want to do this podcast. I've been on your podcast already." And that's the cool thing about it. You're like, "I want to help you." And
Mm-hmm.
that's how cool people like you are. You step out, you're a mom, you're busy. We're 2 days before Christmas. And you're taking the time out of your day with all the kids at home. None of them are at school. And you're doing this. So, like, it's people that you, or there's people like you that stand out. It's people like you that make a difference. It's people like you that don't live an ordinary life. You live an extraordinary life. And it's people like you that allows other people's story like mine to become what it is, you know?
Hmm. But you know, even just you talking, people feel that quality from you. You're so kind. I think I remember you saying, and I don't want to mess it up, but to me, this is what I hear. Why would you want to fit in, right, to the world when you're born to stand out? Like you are an incredible soul because of what you've been through and getting this message out. And sorry, I'm going to get emotional. I just I mean, as busy as you are, you make time. You always make time, and for people and for like the little ones, right? You're just amazing. And I just want you to know that that comes back around. People are going to love and support this, and we're going to put everything out there because it's going to be amazing because your intention is to help people change the world, help others stand out. And I just want to say I love and appreciate you so much, Ben. And thank you for being on this podcast. And we'll put everything in the show notes. And just thank you for being here today with us.
You're such a gift. Thanks for being such a light to this world, and God bless you. I appreciate you.
All right. Can't wait to see it. 1, 2, 3, stand out.